Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney, Miles and Edgeworth Investigations. We're gonna continue with case 4 here from Save Point. And where are we exactly? Well, we're missing our earphones. That's where we are. Alright, let's sync this one time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Good lord, these guys. There's no way these guys killed each other. Is the only real explanation that they kill each other simultaneously? I don't know. You might have had some kind of, oh, what do you want, shirtless? Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they're finished talking. I was not aware anyone was talking. I'll only say one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name. A competition? The person that figures out the truth first wins. Oh. So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name? Exactly. I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolishly foolish mouth. Alright, Arms, that's enough. Fine, whatever makes you happy, Arms. Can I take that as you accepting my challenge? Yes, Arms. I'm sorry, this is that game. Oh my god. Ugh. Well, then let's begin the investigation. Oh, very confident, are we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily presented like the professional I am. Picture perfect indeed. Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish. Oh, Edgeworth. He's just gonna play along. What's up, Oh, shh. I thought you were Gumshoe. You scared me. Oh, Gumshoe's standing right over there. What's mine? Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid. Yeah, well, I just called you Arms. I said kids, kid. How dare you call me a kid as well? I'll do what I please, Arms. I'm so sorry. I won't allow you or your Arms to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You wanna pull back on the Second Amendment for this one? Yeah. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. Now, do what I say from now on, kids, okay? You better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do. That is not a whip. Then you, prosecutor boy. Let's get your investigation started already. Well, if you'd let me. Now, even that detective is treating me like a child. Damn it. Oh, man. Okay, you guys... Oh, man, doing the finger. Nobody messes with the finger. Oh, man. Oh, the beginning of the end for Gumshoe, let me tell you. Alright, so begin investigation. Oof, Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? Alright, what's going on here? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used as murder weapons here. Yes, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Damn, I look good in this suit, let me tell you. Where did the men acquire the weapons? Well, that's a good start. Let me just pull out my corn dog here and I'll get back to you. The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. Oh. You presented a loaded gun in court? Jeez. Maybe he loaded it later, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I remember that. I never heard anything about the knife. That is a strange looking knife, too. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Wait a minute. What are you thinking, Edgeworth? Ooh, well... Okay, I was kind of surprised that Edgeworth is going with the angle here that Faraday did it, because... You know, consider... Well, I'm only thinking that probably because I know now, you know, how it turns out. Maybe you got a brain in there after all, kid. Is he gonna treat me like a child forever? It looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Ralph first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this. Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything about this. How can we possibly be drawing any kind of conclusions right now? Yeah, I heard what you said there, Edgeworth, about Von Karma and crap, so Gummy, what's up? Sorry for calling you Gummy. There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set, too. How dainty. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy. Uh-huh. Alright. Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know? Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off? Wow. Plastic bags, as you say. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? Probably because somebody got choked. I mean, that would be a quiet way to kill somebody, wouldn't it? I know that much, Detective. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Oh, just you wait and see. Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight? Probably. Ugh. Man, there's a lot to look at here, though. We got the bodies, we got her. This guy, I don't think... Oh, here, let's just start down here. There's some stuff in the bag, pal. Suppose this was Mr. Faraday's bag. It's probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him. This is the evidence? Better not touch it. I'll leave prints on it. Can you just not pay attention to anything you do? Man. So as we recall, Faraday was the prosecutor on a KGA case, and more recently in this case, or he was about to be until this happened. There are some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too. The way I'd already read this, yeah. Alright. So I guess when I talked to Gumshoe just now, I was actually examining the table. Alright. There are some... No, that's the same thing. I just looked. Okay. Maybe there isn't as much as we thought. Can we look at the bodies? Y'all want to get out of the way? Oh, I see. Did you figure something out? This is a competition, Miles, and as such I'd appreciate if you didn't talk to me. Oh, as you wish. Fine, be that way. Can we look at these bodies? Here we go. Okay. One of the plastic bags has blood all over it. That's not necessarily an indicator of choking, though, is it? Okay, so Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. First glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only conclusion is, aha! Oh. Yeah. But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. Well, who's to say? Well, I don't know. Who's to say what, though? What, that somebody rearranged the bodies this way? This is not case 1-5 here. We're a little past that point. Or actually... never mind. Alright. So we have to look at this. Well, let's try the gun first. Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So he shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun? That doesn't make any sense. That's not what... Oh my god. Jeez. Even I know how to pull a chrono trigger. So does this game. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one. Oh, don't be too sure about that. It sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. Alright, so we have the handgun, okay. Alright, that's good. Can we look at the knife? Ooh, there was a lot of stuff popped up there. Looks like Mr. Rell died with a knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. And he must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it. Well, that is something to wonder about then, isn't it? I mean, both of these things, these weapons. Let me try that face here. How ironic it is for him to lose his life in a courthouse. Yeah, why'd it have to be like this? I don't know what to say. Can't believe this happened while I was on watch, pal. Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time continuing the investigation. Yeah. Right on. I just totally see this being like an episode of Law and Order, you know? There's a bloody bag. Let's have a look. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? These bags are for keeping the evidence safe, pal. I know that much. Oh man, I love it when they repeat those lines. It just reminds you how this is what it's like. You know, when you go to a job every day, you start to have recurring thoughts like that. It's just so real. But, okay, so evidence of a fight. Well, I certainly believe that's possible. But, yeah, examine his face too. First he killed a Kodopian embassy staff member, then he was murdered himself. This guy wasn't exactly an angel, you know? So I was thinking about it before, and like, the person that he killed was named Yu, right? But apparently this lawyer, who's trying to defend him, or is it prosecute him? I forgot which was which. But her name was Yu also. I'm thinking that the other girl who died might have been her sister. And then this other guy that was pronounced innocent for it, he just showed up in the room a minute ago, and then she went over to him, so I imagine she's not happy that he was pronounced innocent, but beyond that, I couldn't be certain. He's been hauled into the precinct several times for theft and assault, so yeah, he's definitely the type to have committed a murder or two. Well, he did admit to killing Mr. Deadman. Yeah, the only problem is, I mean, I can see why, like, why you would think Faraday would want to kill him to cover up, because he was saying that Faraday told him to do it, right? But that would be way too obvious at this point. Just like, it gets to a point where it's like, you have to rule out the most obvious thing right away. But then, who's to say there's not going to be a case one day where that's not what it is, what the answer is, you know? Yeah, Edgeworth, you're right. We don't have time for this conversation right now. More like, I don't have time for it, like, seriously. Do we have enough to make a connection here? Neat tidy table, plastic bags strewn about. Well, that's a contradiction right there, isn't it? Because, obviously, there was a struggle. Well, was there a struggle, or wasn't there? That's what we're trying to figure out here. Or did a third person kill them both and leave? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during the struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another reason, you say? I believe it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Ugh, please get that blood away from me, pal. Ooh. Yeah, please hurry. I can't stand here in this all day. You know, gotta get comfortable. Okay, it's Mr. Faraday's blood. Well. And the technician said they didn't find anything else on or in the bag. Okay. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. No, I'm not sure about that. You know, you might just want to throw it away. It's probably just strawberry jam, you know? Provided by Lone Star. Because only one man... Oh, wait, no, that's raspberry. My bad. So what about this little entertainment center thingy up here? Okay, what is it now, detective? Oh no. Poor Gumshoe. Let me see here. Oh, he's just gonna bask in it for a minute, isn't he? Oh! Oh my god, it's so loud! Yes, it is. Uh-oh. I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. Foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. Oh, Gumshoe. Oh, man, you're gonna... I understand you're a rookie and all here, man. I tell you, though. They're definitely painting him up to be one. So we got a potted plant. Is that... This decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around it. You know this guy in the picture on the wall here? You know... What? Huh. This guy in the picture on the wall looks like the guy in Proton John's countermeasures video. That's ridiculous. Let's see. It's the window, I guess, but... The window's open, and there's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Febreze. Obviously they wanted to cover it up, but... I think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change. You don't know, man. They might have buried the hands down there. Like there's no way someone escaped through this window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall. Oh my god, dude. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows? Oh, there are. Ooh. And the scent of flowers is in the air. Well, yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right? Well, I agree. Left hand? Really? His hand is all black down here, see? I wonder what it could be. If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. Oh. Ink stain? Is he trying to write something on his hand? Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen. Nah, Edgeworth doesn't need to make up anything about his life. Mr. Rell's cause of death was from being shot, correct? Do we need to look at this again? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. Well, roll his ass over, then! Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rell's cause of death with his body positioned like that. Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail. Actually, I'm not. I'm trying to figure out the whole piece of the puzzle here. Man, the way she's got her arm sticking out right now, there's something coming out of the right side of Edgeworth's neck there. And it looks like she has a really long finger because of that. Or maybe that's something on the wall behind him, I don't know. Anyway. I do have a point. You don't have to begrudgingly admit it, you know. Yes, sir. We're taking enough photos of the scene, sir. There you have it, sir. Do not approve. You know what's even funnier about that is if that was her arm, well, that'd be a pretty long arm, which makes the comparison even more, you know, makeable. Wait, what? Well, that's... dude. Alright. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Oh, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. It's just meat. Oh my jeez. Well, still sleeping soundly. We'll rest until I've inspected every... Ooh. There's a lot more here, though. We have some wounds. Start from the top and work your way down, I guess. Shot in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week, and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That must mean long range. Ergo Mr. Rell must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. Okay. I never knew that about gunshots until I played these games. That's kind of cool. Apparently this detective has as much common knowledge, or, well, about as much knowledge as you have spelling, Edgeworth. Marsupial. Nice. So we look at the knife again. I'm not sure. Well, get out of the Matrix, Mr. Gumshoe. What do we got here? There's something in his breast pocket. It's not milk, is it? It's a fountain pen. Well, there you go. Okay. Is that somehow connected to the ink in his hand, then? Yeah, well. Then, of course, this guy's got a wound, too. Ugh. I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rell is holding. Labby? Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir. Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rell is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired. Are we sure the knife is part of evidence? Or is that even important? I'm not sure. However, Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Hiccup. Then the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory, in any case. Too bad we're so close to the beginning, because that's got to be way off. Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right. Telling me. I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Okay. Well, logic aside, here we go. Oh man, okay. Fountain pen, ink stain. Connect the dots. Disconnect the dots and be on your way. That's a splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Oh, let's ask the lab guy. Labby! Over here. Detective Gumshoe, I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is indeed what you thought. I see. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it's just one time in my life. Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand. It's fair to assume he was left-handed, but the gun... Uh-huh. Alrighty then. Is that in the evidence too, though, I wonder? I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No. We can't conclude that quite yet. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. Please tell me I'm not getting used to that. Because that would be horrible. Still something I find very peculiar here. Oh, well. In fact, there is actually a contradiction that shows there's another possibility. No way, pal, really? Oh, dude. I suppose I'll just have to show you the what? Oh, conflict in this crime scene. Couldn't see the letters there. I'm gonna rest easy until... Okay. Well, deduce, based on right hand... Not somehow connect to any of the evidence I hold. Well, it depends on which evidence has that information in it, which I would guess would be... let's see... Faraday? There's a lot of information here. No, that doesn't look like it. Fountain pen used by the left-handed Faraday looks... Okay, there you go. Ooh. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this! Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet the handgun is irrevocably in his right hand. Ergo... I just said ergo. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, lady and gentlemen... Oh, man. Lady and gentlemen. Hello, boy and girl. Anyway... You're right, pal, that does seem kind of strange. But how could something like that happen? The facts add up to one conclusion and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Yikes. Maybe they were like Stu and Billy. at the end of Scream, they just started stabbing each other. Yeah, a little bit. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us. Yikes. Well, that was easy. Alright, who are we going to be debating with? Von Karma or that other guy? Hopefully Von Karma, but, you know, hopefully Arms, but... Get the autopsy report. But you guys are coming to me from both directions here. It is probable that Mr. Rowell survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantly as he was having... Interesting. Okay. Shouldn't that be the other way around? I don't know. It looks like we know now everything we need to know about this case. Are you sure we know everything? No. Of course! The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. Bow. Take a bow. It's all very clear and simple. There's absolutely no margin for doubt. Do you really believe that to be the truth? Huh, are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you, that you don't want to believe it's true? No. Why do you find it so hard to believe? Why do you find it so easy? It's never been easy! It's alright, if you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is... Oh, don't you worry, I will. There would be no game if I didn't have one for you, so... What happened? Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rowell survived for a short time. Alright, Oh, I don't even have a press... Oh, because we're not done here. From this, it is ostensibly obvious that Mr. Faraday irrevocably died after he single-handedly shot Mr. Rowell. And Mr. Rowell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. Game over. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should first look for any holes in her theory. Okay, I mean, we'll start somewhere, I guess, is what you gotta do. Mr. Reed. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous. Well, okay, well, we better start there. You truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously? And the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest. There, you see. It's been documented clear as day. But didn't you just say he got shot first? Well, he shot the other guy. Okay, well, I guess that still makes sense then. He had the gun, he shot the other guy. Yeah, and then the other guy managed to somehow fatally stab him and make him die instantaneously after that. That's really weird. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need. Alright, so if Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rowell before being stabbed. You're finally beginning to catch on, I see. Well, yeah. And Mr. Rowell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. How did he know that he had a knife, though? That's kind of what worries me. What do we have in the evidence here? Let's at least look again. We have the KG-8, but this is like old stuff here. So I don't think we really need that right now. Let's see what else we got. We have Gumshoe's testimony. Sinhall on guard duty, other than gunshot, didn't hear the sign of a struggle. That's a little strange. Dost I protest too much? Found in Faraday's hand, bullet that killed Rowell, fired from a few yards away. wound, so he fired him from, like, across the room, and yet he still managed to get across the room to him and stab him. Well, I was thinking I might cut out myself reading this, but maybe this is important. Faraday died of a knife stab to the chest. The shock and stabbing was instantaneous. Rel died of a bullet wound to the chest. There was no gunpowder burns. He was shot from far away. It was possible he was alive for a little while after being shot, and he had to have been if he was to stab the other guy after being shot. That still goes in with what she's saying. Fountain pen. Well, let's at least... Well, let's press this. So you're wasting time. So you believe that the dying Mr. Rel stole the knife from Mr. Faraday. Mr. Rel became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they're put to the test. So the two men struggled. And in the end, Mr. Rel was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The messy condition of this room is a testament to their struggle. So, well, guess we better flip it. Yes, my logic is perfectly sound. No, it is not. What are you insinuating? Nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide by without further inquiry. One must be clear and precise. Don't give her the daddy finger. That's not what she wants to see, let me tell you. Fine. They struggled, and Mr. Rel used the last of his strength to counterattack. I don't know if I need... Well, I guess I will. I've pressed everything else to this point. How about this statement? Okay. But it's not... But Gumshoe didn't hear anything. That's the problem with it. Or her crop. Is that what that is? More like her crap, you know? More like her crap! Okay. Is there anything else I can explain for you? Oh, don't worry. Only this. Alright, so... Something strange about Franziska's theory. I should compare her claim with the data I've gathered. Yep. That's fine. I know what it is. So... Which one would it be? Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous. Mr. Rel. Those are the facts of this case. I think it's probably this one. Gumshoe! Save me! How do you like it? Who's your daddy? If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Mr. Gumshoe testified he heard absolutely nothing. Ha! He placed too much faith in the detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Rel get his hands on the knife? Well, that's what I want to know. Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It's not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Rel saw a chance and took it out at some point. So what you're saying is this. Isn't there something strange in Franziska's statement just now? Yes, something is definitely off in that statement. I mean, did you hear it? Wait, something doesn't add up. Oh, really? Nope, that's in the first... That's in Apollo Justice, honey. We'll check it out. It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rel after being stabbed. Oh, wait. Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Rel. Didn't we just say that, it's simply not possible to have shot Mr. Rel after being stabbed? Didn't that just say in the notes? Or, where's the notes at? No, that's that. Is this the notes? Oh, that is the notes. The thumbnail threw me for a second there. Where is it now? Discovered immediately after the shot for the stabbing caused instantaneous death, and we're saying if that was instantaneous, then yeah, okay, that's fine. That's kind of weird that they would go right after they just told us that wasn't the case. I guess they want you to remember that, though, you know. Really, why? Ergo, he could not have possibly fired the gun impossibly after that. Oh, you got me. Yes, I do, Arms. But of course. Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Rell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rell. Therefore, Mr. Rell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot, and they both died. That's what I've been saying all this time! Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Franziska. Ooh. Just wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible. Before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could flush in the toilet. How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid, and still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Oh, damn. Franziska, you still got a ways to go. Dude! Don't press her buttons. What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic? Mr. Faraday died instantly, and the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in this scene. The contradiction here in the crime scene is... Wait. Let me see this one more time. Okay. Gotcha. So it's basically the same thing again. It's the order the bodies fell. Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Just explain it for me, Edgeworth. I'm not even going to bother. Because I'm going to say something and then he's going to say it right after me and be like, oh, this, you'll see, I was just about to say that. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and Mr. Rell died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which their bodies are piled. That's a little weird, isn't it? Mr. Faraday is on top. Mr. Rell is on the bottom. That's the problem here. Mr. Rell must have died before Mr. Faraday. Ooh. Cold. You're getting cold, are you? Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must... I was talking. No, I'm talking right now. What now? I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. Yeah, I try, but it's hard sometimes, you know? That is even clearer now. Ugh, sorry, I just had a big ball of snot. Never mind. That is even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent. What do you got, honey? An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong. Alright. Well, I've got decisive evidence if that's what you're looking for, man. All you gotta do is say the word. I'll be glad to hand it right over to you. It's just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top. Two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. Well, that's still dumb. Because if the stabbing is caused instantaneous death, then he could have been first or last. He would have had to... He was definitely first. I don't know. But I don't think that's it, like... I mean, I kind of hope it's not. I don't know, though. There's just chance of Mr. Faraday's body... Okay, I don't care. If that's what you think, then go on, believe that. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. Here's where our problems start, right here. What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? What you talking about? Push a penny under the door. I assume Mr. Faraday had two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rell while holding both the knife and revolver, and then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rell grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. Huh, well... At close range, that is more than possible. Uh-oh. Are you serious? Oh, I will. Oh my god, you just gave it to me. Oh my god. You're crazy. I don't see any point to that, but as you please. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. There it is. Wow. Well, I mean, how, you know. Obviously, they have to give you something to go on. Sometimes it can't help but be something really obvious, like in this case, that it was fired from a few yards away, so it could not possibly have been at close range. We did establish this earlier. So you believe they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Their horror, Mr. Rell and the gun, must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Chilly, chilly. Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rell moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation. Well, there's two, I guess. I mean, well, there was nobody else in the room, though. But if there was nobody else in the room, then the only explanation would be that they killed the other person, and they killed themselves. If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who? The person that attacked first with murderous intent would be... Neither man. You're in this room. Contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. There was a third person here. Oh, damn. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like really nasty shit had gone down. That third person is the real culprit. Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing. A dick. Evidence, correct? Yeah, well, shoot. Story played out. Yeah, it is, but... However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime? I seriously doubt it. What? Edgeworth, no. Are you bluffing? If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this is all, well, is it the plastic bags? I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle. So that's not all that's going to be laid bare around here. Where's the piece of evidence that proves there is a third person? That's my first thought. I feel like that almost has to be it. I'm just gonna go with it. We're on a roll here, man. Yeah! The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Oh, sit down. Just make sure you're sitting down for this one. Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time. I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. But wait, there's more. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood spatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it... Ooh... Oh. I would think if they were smart, though, they would have gotten rid of the bag or taken it with them or something. Unless they're, like, still here. Oh, well, I guess maybe they expected us to think it was just going to be a piece of evidence from a different case or something, maybe. That's why you do something like this in a courthouse, you know, then they don't know, they can't tell. Poor Franziska, man, somebody's got to get her a shirt. What is he doing over there? Looks like we still got a long way to go on this investigation. Yes. Wish you could see me right now. Just nod my head. Yes. Who in the world was that? What the hell is the judge? Judge, have you been working out? What the heck's up with you, pal? Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. What are you doing? What's the meaning of this? Ha! Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare. That detective claims he was there standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie. You what? Don't you guys have cameras in this place? Miss Yu, I ask that you would please explain that last statement. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. Why is... I saw it with my own 2 eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. What? What? So that what was for me, the last one I was reading it, but... I guess maybe some of you guys might have noticed that, that I haven't necessarily, like, when there's what in the dialogue and I read it, I actually count it, even though I wasn't doing that before. I feel like at this point, it's close enough to a what by me, especially if I agree with the character, then I'm just like, what? Then they count it as a what, so. But other times, like when it's the last word in the sentence and I'm just counting it as a what or whatever, then it doesn't count, like, not that one either. No, it only counts when I'm like, what? You know, like that. So, of course, that one shouldn't count because... Shut up! Anyway, so I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? Well, it doesn't mean you killed him just because he wasn't there for a few minutes. It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is that detective. I mean, I guess who else could it be is what they're figuring. Oh, man. Looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. Well, no, because that goes right along with what I've been saying, though, that there's a third person. So my logic hasn't failed at all. I know it wasn't Gumshoe, but... I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear people in the struggle. Oh, man. Is that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. How do you feel? I haven't lied to anyone, sir, honest. I was really there. I was in the hallway the whole time. Okay, what you got, Edgeworth? Tell us. Please. I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I'm the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. Don't wave. I'll give you the daddy finger. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Why he wasn't in the hallway would be a good start. Why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time? Look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay? But there's testimony against you that... Huh? Miles Edgeworth, why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question? Well, the only logical reason as to why he was absent at that was because he's been committed. Oh, well... So I'm supposed to accuse the judge of lying? Or, well, I wouldn't be doing that by omitting the question, but in a way I sort of would be. I mean, if the judge says it's true, I kind of, you know, if you can't believe the judge, who can you believe? I don't know, though, I guess. State of the hallway, motive for the murders. Well, state of the hallway kind of is the same thing, though, isn't it? You're asking him why he wasn't there. Here. I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. There we go. Okay, well, yeah. I thought that meant I was supposed to ask Detective... I thought that meant that I was going to ask Detective Gumshoe the question as to what was the motive behind the killing. It's like one of them was a question I was asking Gumshoe, and the other one was a question I was asking him. No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact? You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? What? He doesn't. I'm not lying, I'm telling you, man. The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become. Well, isn't it natural to get angry if someone accuses you of lying when you didn't? If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Oh, boy. Oh, I can't wait to hear this one. However, be forewarned, the daddy fingers won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Shit, this daddy fingers thing is so bad. Like, if this becomes a thing, dear God. And who am I kidding? I've already made it a thing already, so I'm interested in the perfect explanation. Yes. Laugh it up, Fuzzball. Or just pigtails, whatever, I don't know. Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Let's do it. Gumshoe's motive, are you kidding? And now you're putting on lipstick, dear God. How many different crazy things can they have these girlies doing? It was about a week ago. What? Yeah, I know, but I was thinking the same thing. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit!" A brand new detective suddenly getting a salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Wow. What off-ramp did we just take here? No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge. Dude, it's fine. Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. If you say one more word, I'm gonna pull out my corn dog. Sir, not the corn dog, please! There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all. Okay, well... Okay, Faraday wasn't here a week ago, right? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, don't we have something... Wasn't he, like, just coming back from... Let me see. No, that's not going to tell us anything. Actually, maybe we don't have that information. No, there's, like, nothing here. We might have to just press until we get... Until she slips up or something? A week ago, the new Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances. Oh. No way. I only met him in person today. Then how'd you know about Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've seen him around before. Okay. You saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. Alright. Mr. Faraday was upset? Yeah. You know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat red in the face. Oh. And the offending detective just stood there pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making right now, right? I'm completely innocent, I tell you. Alright. The poor man. The poor, poor man. Man, this girl is so weird, man. It was quite the scene with the detective. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." Alright, what do you got for me here? Okay, that's enough, bud. You had your time. In the sun. You know, where the sun don't shine. You just stood there watching this unfold. Yeah. I have to say it was really enjoyable, too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. No way. I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face. You do have something stuck on your face. Oh, man. What? Oh, jeez. Oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows. Am I, like, the only person in the world that pays absolutely no attention to eyebrows whatsoever? Like, I don't notice them at all. Like, I wouldn't notice if they were connected, if they're light, dark, or if they're not even there at all. Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony. Yeah, great. A brand new detective suddenly getting a salary cut. Okay, hang on. Well, I guess that kind of does make sense. Well, she knows that he's brand new now. Well, she did say she heard about him. Let's just do it. There's something ain't right here, though. To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier, too? I suppose I did. And he never stopped after that. It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Oh god, no, don't give her that. Well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay. Detective bad. Don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier. Maybe. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation? Well, I don't know. You call your explanation perfect. Is it not to your liking? It's circumstantial, first of all. It's speculation more than anything. Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Now. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Do we ever do anything else in this situation? I don't think so. Objection is what we do, man. Alright, if you could clear up this one thing for me. Ooh. Faraday and Gumshoe's relation. That would be like a big detail to the story, but I kind of think we already know. Faraday is his boss, basically, right? Or he's somehow his superior. That's not going to clear anything up. But how Mr. Faraday was killed, or motive for killing Mr. Rell. Right, well, she's saying that Gumshoe killed Mr. Faraday, so what we would want to know is why would he kill both of them, alright? I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell? His motive for killing Rell, like I would know. Oh, I'm surprised she didn't go with the, oh, he had to get rid of all the, witnesses. So, if there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. What? Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, first we gotta laugh a little bit here. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. Jeez, I didn't even do anything and you were already laughing away. Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh. Care to explain your logic? Okay, so she's gonna say he killed the other guy because the other guy would have ratted him out, obviously. This, again with the perfection. Perfect this, perfect that. Oh boy, oh man. Okay, see, I like this girl because she's calling him out. Even though I love Edgeworth, I don't like Edgeworth Von Karma, that's for sure. I don't like EVK. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you shut this rude woman up! Whoa, I almost reached for my keyboard there instead of my 3DS. I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second. Ooh. Well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. Alright, what do you got? There's no one out there with a motive to kill both of them. All I really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity. Okay, gotcha. There you go. That's what I figured she was going to say. That's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? Let's take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. Uh-oh. Wait, what about that guy? there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? How was Mr. Fell, or Rel, actually? Well, Mr. Rel was the one being accused of... Oh, crap. How did that work again? But the thing with Manny was like 3 years ago, right? And he wouldn't have a grudge against the lawyer who got him off. Well, then Faraday wasn't the lawyer who got him off. Faraday was the lawyer who tried to accuse him. So actually, he would have a grudge against Faraday, but what about Rel? I feel like it has to be... I feel like it has to be Manny. Because, like... I mean, I could tell right away when they brought him up he was going to be important, and I feel like now is that point. Pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. Oh, that's the thing, it had to be somebody who was here in the courthouse, so that kind of narrows it down, you know? It narrows it down to about 10 people, at least 5 or 6 of which we know didn't do it. As in, we know Edgeworth didn't do it, we know she didn't do it, we know Gumshoe didn't do it. I don't think Bad could have done it. So, well, let's see what we got, though. What was that thing about Manny again? Reference about TJ. Ooh. Actually, now that I think about it, could be her. Because the victim, and he got called guilty, or, oh my gosh. The victim, like I was saying before, I was saying the victim could have been like her sister. And then she would be mad at the prosecutor for not getting the guy accused of it. Right. But was Rel the one... Oh, I forget how Rel fits into it. Who was the guy that was being accused of it the first time? Well, Manny Cochin was the guy who was being accused of it the first time. What am I talking about? And then... But then that would mean her grudge was against Manny Cochin, not against this Rel guy. Oh, this Rel was trying... It's gotta be either her or him. But either way, if it is, this evidence would work in both cases. If I was going to point at her, if I was going to point at him. Are we really ready to go into this soon, though? Well, she says all you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. And we did establish that in Gumshoe's case. Of course, that's what she's saying. But if that's true, then isn't it also... There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. Oh, man. Mr. Rel was involved somehow, though. Dang it. I'm gonna try it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Miss you, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? Oh, damn. What do you mean? Well, this is about to get dirty, woman, let me tell you. We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. And will be footing the bill for this vacation I'm about to take. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. And a member of the Kodopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. Okay, here we go. So we are talking about Manny here. Oh, man. She did, like, walk right over to him. I don't remember what they said. The man who killed a member of the embassy staff, Mr. Rel. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Uh-oh. Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal! What did you think I was gonna do? I wasn't gonna stand off and watch you get hauled off to Black Dick Central. I was debating in my mind whether or not to say that. I'm sorry. It's a thing, you know, it's not... Okay, maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. What? Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't forget that what future self. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect now, man. Make no mistake. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, these are the only things I wish to hold. To have and to hold, maybe. But I didn't do it! I don't care. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, Daddy Fingers will not be very forgiving should any... Dear God, the interruptions. You want to investigate Cochin, you just be wasting your time. Why is that? Cochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial, or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since we arrived. Dang it. Well, have they? Well, let's bring those cops in here and ask them then. We need alibis for every single minute. Never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay then, are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit, it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up I spaced out while on duty or the like. Come on, Gumshoe, time for your little interrogation. No, 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 no. Detective Bad. Please, but you gotta believe me. It's over. It's over. My life is over. My career is over. No more instant noodles for me. And the hoser still stands there, flexing his abs. It's Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. Oh my God. Oh, she was holding the stick. That was why her arm seemed so long. That, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho, ho, ho! Well, thanks, Judge. Thanks, Obama. Well, I suppose we should be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Don't. Before we do, Miss Yu, there is something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? Alright. What are we doing here? Yeah, this video's getting pretty long here. I don't know. So what you want to ask me about? KG-8? The current case of the murdered Codopian Embassy staff member. I've heard that people have been calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. Yes. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident. Uh-oh. Whew! I'd appreciate if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here. 2 of them, actually. You want to see? Think you should stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me? If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not gonna make any headway like this. Just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG. Okay, well, here we go. Present. Bleh. Check just to make sure. Yes. And present. You're not gonna be laughing for very much longer here. I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident. That file is your proof. Very well, then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident? Oh, jeez. Through the victim. Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. Uh-oh. The victim's name is CCU. See you later. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case? Oh, dear. Sorry, but we're not related. What? Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help but... Oh my God. I ask that you please tell me the truth. Sounds like she's bipolar or something. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know. As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU. Just as I thought. Interesting music here. She believes Manny did it. Oh, wow. But because he was tried once, and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Why didn't he use it? Did he lose it? Apparently a man in black. Oh god, here we go. It's a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Jeez. Dang. Oh, I suspect it's larger than you know, Edgeworth. You don't really know, which is why you wanted to become the lead defense. On this case, the people are calling the second KG-8 incident. I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know. You mean you think this case has nothing to do with a smuggling ring? I don't know what to think. Wow, this just got serious all of a sudden. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier? Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, what a dick. Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. This is not Pokemon, you know. I'm fine, really. I give him a good slap across the face. The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around, and people in the gallery claim he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess it wasn't my help, huh? That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life. Oh, Edgeworth with the senses. The empath. Empath Edgeworth. There's still some good in him there. Thank you for the advice. But Daddy Fingers is just fine. Don't you worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. There she goes. Look at you with your game face on, ready to go. I'm making no such face. But you know, laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time? I'm charged with making serious faces. What are you talking about? I have no need for laughter. Oh, but Edgeworth, you're never gonna get with Luca Jin at that rate. There you go, making that face again. Oh well. Gotta get going. Still have a few loose ends I need to tie up. Alright, well, you go do that. Oh. Serious face. What is she talking about? KG-8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that detective. Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying. Though his lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over, boy. But whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I will not let you down. Oh, boy. Oh, what a way to go out. Dear God, I don't know if that's going to be one video or two. According to the clock. I've been recording for an hour and 45 minutes, but maybe I didn't start till I thought later than I did. Later than I thought I did. I don't know, guys. Anyway, next time on Wednesday, we will find out a little more about what's going on here. Oh boy, yeah, we're right back in the main room. And look at these cops. Look at that one sitting over on the couch. Gee, and Gumshoe's still here, still up in arms. Or wait, no, that's okay. So we're done here, guys. See you next time.